G'day folks, thanks for joining me. Just when you thought American politics could not get any more turbulent, up comes a book alleging the country's top military officer is guilty of the worst crime any soldier can commit. According to the book, General Mark Milley told his Chinese counterpart in 2020 that if then President Donald Trump decided to start a war with China, he'd let them know in advance. You heard that right. America's top general would tip off the enemy in the event of a war. As one website pointed out yesterday, this would be like General Patton calling Adolf Hitler on June the 5th, 1944 and telling him to keep an eye out for Allied soldiers storming the beach at Normandy the next morning. The book is co-authored by Bob Woodward, who also helped break the Watergate scandal back in 1972. Specifically, the book, which comes out later on this month, says General Milley made two calls to General Li Zhozheng of the People's Liberation Army, the first on October 20. General Li, Milley said, you and I have known each other for now 5 years. If we are going to attack, I'm going to call you ahead of time. It's not going to be a surprise. Second phone call on January 8 this year reassured General Li that the transition from one US president to another was not as alarming as it looked from Beijing. We are 100% steady, General Milley said. Everything's fine, but democracy can be sloppy sometimes. Sloppy? You can say that again. If this is true, it just adds to Milley's poor record over the past few years. He was the one who decided to withdraw from Afghanistan through Kabul instead of the already secure and fortified Bagram Air Base.
Our key tasks are to establish and maintain security at the Kabul International Airport, defend the airport from attack, evacuate all American citizens from Afghanistan who desire to leave this country.
That didn't go quite according to plan. And before that, Milley postponed for 2 years the release of an important and comprehensive report into the Iraq War. When it was finally released in 2018, it revealed key criticisms and lessons for the US military that Milley ignored. Its authors said in the Wall Street Journal last week, quote, General Mark Milley tried to bury the work and its lessons, unquote. We here in Australia are getting accustomed to these big political scandals in the United States and can afford to be slightly amused by the intense partisan acrimony of it all. But this one strikes home. Our military alliance with America has always been our greatest source of security. But now that our region is increasingly volatile, the alliance is more important than it's been since World War II. With General Milley in charge, the alliance doesn't give us the confidence it once did. Some commentators in the United States are calling this latest allegation against General Milley treason. It's difficult to argue against that. If that's the crime Milley has committed, he picked a terrible time to commit it. See you next week.